He's had a little bit more problems with counter punchers and guys who move away from him. He's more. He likes it more when people come to him, and so forth. So he has to be a little bit more offensive in this fight, and we're working on that, and he's doing very well with it so far.
Have you seen anything different at all with him since you started on this camp compared
you
to
know, it's not really. You know, the thing is, the fight in Australia, you know, we lost the decision. And I was just explaining to Manny after the fight, like being a senator and being a professional champion boxer is, you know, very difficult because that training camp was like up and down. Sometimes you get out of the Senate at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, sometimes it's 10 o'clock at night, but we still have to train. And the schedule was really not a great schedule, I felt. And I wasn't giving him I wasn't telling him which way to go or anything. I just said, I think you should maybe do one or the other. And so then we didn't speak for a long time, and it was maybe almost 2 years. And then I was waiting for a phone call when everyone else was getting phone calls to go to training camp, and I ended up watching on my TV at home. So because I never got a call, and I called Mindy's number a couple times and just left a message, but no response. So then. You know, so I take it that you know, I was fired, and I said, well, should I watch it on TV? I said, yeah, might as well. I says, you know, the thing is, I've been with him for 15 years. I had a great run. He's a great guy. I have no reason to really get mad at him because you know, he didn't like what I said about maybe he can't do both things at the same time. But you know, that was my opinion in that moment. So, but he, you know, so he called me up after the Broner press conference and said, "Can you meet me at the hotel?"
Oh wow!
I says, "Oh yeah, sure." So 9:30, I go there and we have a little meeting. There's 10 guys in the room, people talking. We went off to the side. He said, "Okay, first of all, I'm sorry I didn't invite you to the last fight." I said, "No, that's gone. Forget about that. I don't care about that." I says, you know, where are we at right now? And he's starting negotiating like we negotiated every fight. I mean, we don't have a contract with every fight. We just negotiated a deal.
Okay.
And he told me how much money he's making, told me how much money I'm making, how much this, that thing, just cleaned every up. What do you expect of me? He says, I want you to let Boo Boy do a little bit more mitts because I want him to be better known as a trainer, and you know, when he retires, Boo Boy will have a future in boxing. I said, no problem at all. We'll work together on that. We've always worked as a team, and it was real quiet. Like I don't think the 10 people that were watching TV decided to really listen to us because we were just talking quiet back and forth. And it was just one-on-one, and I said, okay, I'll see you tomorrow. And we've been working quite well together, doing the mitts with him almost every day. And then Boo Boy was up yesterday, so I said, Boo Boy, it's your turn to get beat up today.
So you can pass some of that pressure on to somebody else now, huh?
I mean, you know, wearing it, I said to Boo Boy, I said, you're lucky you don't wear a body protector because if you hit you the body shots, because he even shot in the chest the other day, fuck. My whole body felt like it went numb and stuff like that, and I said, I knew this wasn't a good idea, that body protector, but he likes to hit it so much so that I knew it would be a big plus for me and him working together on the mitts. So we've been working quite a bit, and he'll do some mitts today. He won't do too much today because he doesn't want to show you guys what he's up to.
So it sounds like Manny's power is still there, huh?
Manny is the boss. Manny's power is. His power is unbelievable. I mean, it's 100%. The speed and power is still there. His work ethic is still there. I always told him, I said, once your work ethic drops, I'm going to tell you when you get, I want you to retire. And we have an agreement there. And but it hasn't dropped at all. I mean, he's on his toes for like 4 hours the other day, just from start to finish. And I mean, he'll he was complaining about a blister on his foot yesterday. And then, okay, he grabs the jump rope. I said, wait, I thought you had a blister on your foot. Yeah, I do. I said, but why are you jumping rope? He says, well, you know, I still have to work because we don't know. My opponent probably is still working. So, you know, when he says that to me, he's got a great,
he's
a great comeback.
Yeah.
And it's time to go to work.
Okay.
And, you know, injuries are like, you know, they come and go. But I mean, this camp we've had a few, but the little cramps and once you see Manny and see how big his calves are now and stuff, you'll know why they get cramped up a little bit. But we've got that covered right now, and so it's the last 2 days no pain whatsoever. So everything's really going well. I'm excited for this fight. Now, his first knockout in like 6 years, his last fight. I think that's carrying over to this fight because I think he has that killer instinct back a little bit again, and I like that a lot.
What about Broner concerns you guys about this fight?
He's a pretty good counter puncher, and he has a decent right hand, a little bit of power, but he's a little bit lazy, and he does fatigue, and I do feel that, I said, Manny, let's break this guy down from round 1 right to the 12th round. I said, fight this guy. I said, back him up, and so the game plan is, you know, it's in the middle a little bit because his tendency is to not go forward and counter on the other guy coming to him. And I told him that I don't think he's going to come to you at all.
Right.
But if he does, we're ready for that also.
Got it.
And we have 3 sparring partners, and we did 12 rounds twice, and then we did 10 rounds. We did 8 rounds yesterday, we go 6 rounds tomorrow, and then on Saturday we'll do 4 rounds, and that'll be the last day of sparring. Okay. Monday we'll work out here at 12 o'clock, and then we'll leave for Las Vegas.
The Matisse fight, Coach, what did you see in that fight?
Very good Manny. Yeah, he put things together. He fought well. He heard him. When he heard him, he jumped on him, and like I would like him to do. And so it was a great fight for Manny, I felt. And you know, a decent opponent. I mean, not the best guy in the world at this time. Maybe a guy getting a little older, of course. But like Manny was getting a little bit older too. But you know, at 40 though, the way he's punching on the mitts and the way he's working out, that's just a number. He is really way still there. He's fresh as could be. I'm really happy with him.
Where's that old man strength, huh?
He's that old man strength.
Where do you see him ranking in terms of the other welterweights that are out there at the moment in his division? I mean, can he get back to the top 50?
There's a lot of good fighters in that division right now. At 47, I mean, you got Errol Spence, you got
Porter, Garcia, Crawford, not Chavez.
Who's from Nebraska?
Crawford.
I think Crawford's maybe one of the best fighters pound for pound in the world because I think Crawford can do it all. He can box, he can punch, he moves well, he attacks well. He's hurt like when he fight my guy Postal. I'd never seen Postal hurt before, except until that fight happened. This guy, he seems like he's putting everything together and so forth. If that ends up being the next fight, I'm okay with it because you know, I think Manny's still there, and unless things change drastically from now to this fight, I'm not worried about any of those guys because we will have to fight them all. And the thing is, we're not staying in just to stay in. I mean, we still want to stay in to be the best, and we will fight the best if the opportunities come and the promoters can work it out and be happy with each other. But that's a difficult point also.
Yeah. Well, after the last fight, Manny's last fight in Vegas 2 years ago, the Bradley fight. Were you happy that he continued fighting after that, or did you want to see him, call it a day?
The Bradley fight, I thought it was decent, but the thing is, I was wondering about it a little bit going into the fight with the Australian fighter, And the thing about the Australian fight, the only thing I was worried about him was he has get so big from way into fight time. This guy's gaining like 20, 30 pounds. I mean, he's a big guy. He fought Manny very dirty, which is, I mean, probably a good way to fight Manny. You know, because Manny's not that type of fighter. He's a very clean fighter. And like I said, Manny, if he hits you low, hit him back low. And he says, I can't do that. I says, why? And he said, well, it's against the rules. I says, okay. I can't go much further than that, though, because it is against the rules. But I believe that Bible says an eye for an eye. And so when I bring up Bible verses to Manny, he shakes his head because he knows I'm not the most religious person in the world.
So Freddie, there's no more animosity between you and Pacquiao? Nothing that you can feel at all?
No, not at all. So we're the same as we were before when the last fight, and we're in good terms. We're working really well together, and I think he's enjoying me back as much as I am, because I love being with Manny Pacquiao. I mean, I have been with him for 15 years. I mean, most weddings or most marriages don't last that long, but I mean, you know, he's always been honest and really good to me, and I mean, he changed my life for sure.
Does he feel more focused in this training camp compared to the last one?
Much more focused, yeah. I mean, taking the time off for this fight and not staying at home and going back and forth with the Senate and so forth, and having some time off to work on the fight and that fight only, it's been really great for him. I think it's the thing he has to do to stay at this level.
Freddie, did you see that him and Floyd Mayweather had a little encounter yesterday at the Clippers game?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
You know, it's kind of funny though. But the thing is, that, I mean, everybody knows that Mayweather's a Clipper fan, and he goes to a lot of games and so forth. So, was there a T-shirt left over for him? I think so. So, yeah, I think that was maybe not planned, but it was going to happen somewhere along the way. Yeah. I mean, because like, you know, again, we have to get by Broner for there to be any fight in the future, first of all. And like, I would love Mayweather, yes, but the thing is, again, we can't look past this fight. We have this one first.
Can Adrian Broner present maybe a slower, older version of Floyd Mayweather?
He can't even carry Mayweather's bag. That's going to be a fucking break. Come on. He wants to be Mayweather, and that might be the mistake in his life, that he wanted to be someone else is impossible. Just is.
Coach, do you think the Jeff Horn fight could provide any pointers for Adrian that may help him against Manny?
I don't think Adrian's nearly as big as him or strong as Horn was and so forth. I don't think he's that type of person, but the thing is, you know, Horn, I mean, Manny was probably in 50 headlocks in that fight. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, the guy from up pushing him to the ground and so forth. So, to prevent that from happening, you know, Manny's going to box smart in and out, and he's not going to let the guy even touch him. So we did learn something in that fight, and you know, a lot of people think Manny won that fight, of course. But the thing is, going to a guy's hometown like in Australia, it's sometimes tough to get wins.
Freddie, you mentioned in interviews that you feel that by the fourth round, Broner will be mentally exhausted, and by the sixth, he's going to be spent. Why is it that you feel that way?
I don't remember saying that, but I said more like the ninth, I think.
Oh, the ninth. Well, either or, you think he's going to be spent by the middle rounds?
Yes, I do. I mean, the thing is, he does fatigue badly in his fights, and it's been showing more and more as life goes on. I mean, when he was younger, he was much more aggressive and better condition. But lately, he seems like he puts a lot of weight on. He has trouble making weight a little bit, and he blows up too big nowadays. And coming back down is very difficult for my field. But the other thing is, at one time, Broner was a good friend of mine. I mean, I met him in his 4th pro fight, and he says, "Can I hang out with you?" I says, "Well, I'm not doing nothing. I'm going to take my fighter over to a sauna. He needs to lose 2 pounds." So he says, "Can I come?" I says, "Are you on the show?" He says, "Yeah." "You need to lose weight?" He said, "No." I said, "Okay." So we walked over. My guy went in the sauna, and then all of a sudden I look at him, and he's taking his clothes off. And I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm going to go in the sauna." I said, "Why?" He says, "Because I don't think he should be in there by himself." I says, "You really care about that kid that much?" You just met the guy. I was really surprised, and he went in the sauna for like 20 minutes with him, and they came out, and everyone's happy. And he came here once, and he met Robert Shapiro, and he picked Robert Shapiro up, and that was his favorite person. I was going to invite him today because I thought he might show up for this, but I guess I was wrong.
What do you make of him not showing up to this, wanting to have his workout in another gym?
Is he scared of us, I think? I don't know. Yeah, because it's the perfect. We have upstairs, downstairs. We can do everything here and get the press of the full stories. And I'm kind of disappointed he didn't come. 'Cause I was looking forward to seeing him, and I've seen what kind of reaction he has with me now. Because Fred might have fucked me up. Fred, don't walk away.
I'm not walking away.
No.
I don't know
So,
you.
I mean, the problem can be the fugitive, okay? And there's just, shit.
He's
I
banking.
got a big mouth.
He's banking on his timing. He really thinks he's going to counter Manny like Marcus did it and knock him out. He's not worried about the volume because he feels that he can time Manny. And he has excellent timing.
He can't tell, no. We're way too fast for that. And we have, no, that's, I hope he fights that way. Yep, that,
Why good?
huh? He can't, he'll never get off that way. He'll never counter Manny. Manny's way too fast for him. No. Science-wise, no, it's not going to matter.
What'd you make of the tension fight? The Mayweather's fight in Japan?
I think Mayweather,
Because people were speculating.
well, he beat up a little kid, and the thing is, he was on TV again, and he probably liked that a lot and so forth. And if there is a future fight for him out there, he needs to be seen on TV, and for people to get, like, he's been retired for 10 years or whatever it is. He's on TV, and he knocks the guy out on TV, and I think he fought that fight for this reason, for maybe getting the winner of this fight.
Yeah, people were speculating that that's the reason why he took
But
it.
I'm hoping that, but I really don't know, and I see that they didn't really speak too much at the basketball game last night. I think we just threw him a T-shirt, and that was about it. I wonder if he's gonna wear it.
I don't know. Was it a Clippers shirt or what was it?
Pacquiao shirt.
Come on. Oh, he gave him a Pacquiao shirt.
Of course.
That I didn't know. He's trolling them a little bit.
A little bit.
Do you think Pacquiao has a future in these exhibition-like matches, the way Mayweather has handled his last 2 bouts? Do you
No.
think Pacquiao would be interested in anything like that?
No.
Because he didn't shoot down the thoughts of a McGregor fight during the initial kickoff press conference.
Yeah, but I mean, we didn't know how good a fighter McGregor really was or wasn't at that time. But I feel that Manny wants to be in the sport to be the best in the sport, and that's why Errol Spence and all those other guys out there, I mean, they are possible future opponents, because to be the best, you have to beat the best. So, I mean, we're not just doing this just to entertain people and just, have a, I mean, how hard is it for a professional fighter at that level to knock out like a 24-year-old kid at 130, 25 pounds or something, and he's not allowed to kick and do what he does best? I mean, it's just, Manny would not do that.
With the thought of an easy payday or anything like that?
No, Manny's not like that. He doesn't. You know, I mean, he gives most of his money away anyway. So I mean, I don't think he really cares about payday so much. He cares more about where he's at and taught by the people. He wants to be the best fighter in the world.
And at this point, what do you think his legacy, what needs to be done for his legacy to be further stamped? I mean, he's accomplished so much.
Well, he probably has to be the first president to win a world championship. And
Do you think that's possible?
I'm not lying. No? Oh, yes, of course I do.
Yeah?
Yes,
That's a heavy workload.
it is. The senator is too, but the thing is,
Even more president.
Yeah, but I mean, he's always been a guy that does 100 things at once, and he's like very occupied. When he did the concerts and the singing, and I mean, everything he's always done his whole life has been leading towards this, I feel. And I think he'll be a good president because he cares about the people. I worry about him winning, and maybe people being jealous of him winning, and people do get killed when these things happen, and I do worry about that, and because it's happened before in life. You know? I mean, when you run for president, not everybody likes you. I mean, and it's maybe a little controversial. I'd hate to see something happen, but I mean, it had good security.
Has he told you that he wants to do that he wants to fight and be president?
No.
But you know him better than anybody.
Yeah. But he would never say that to me because one of my comments about being a senator was maybe too much. Or being, you know, a congressman, I think at that time, and the senator was even more work. And I mean, the schedule for training just got, like, it came like second, and I thought it shouldn't be second because this is the best thing he does in life, and he's very good at it, and he's good at it because he works at it.
You mentioned safety issues. Has he talked to you anything about that? About fearing for his safety if he becomes president? Have those conversations took place?
No. I haven't spoken to him about that, or I haven't spoken to him about running for president either. But I do know him very well, and he wants to help the people, and the best way to help the people, I think, is to be the boss. And the president usually is the boss. But believe me, there's a lot of other politicians out there that maybe, you know, want to be president and maybe don't like Manny as much because he's the biggest threat. And he does things for the people, and they don't. And they just care about themselves. And the politicians I've seen in the Philippines, most of them are very successful and very well rich and live good lives and so forth. Manny's not that kind of guy. Manny just wants to help the poor.
You've been with him a very long time, from his beginning, with you coming into this gym. Could you give us your perspective on his journey to where he's at today and how you've seen him develop to the human being that he is today?
He's probably the best guy I've ever met in my life. I mean, he's a very generous, nice person and so forth. And again, like I say, I think no matter how much money he makes, he's not looking for a payday, because it doesn't matter how much money he makes, because he will give that all away to the poor people and the people he cares about. So, I mean, he is genuine, and I mean, this thing is not just a bunch of bullshit, like to just make people like him or not. And he wants to help the people, and I mean, he's proven it over and over again. And I've been to the Philippines like 35 times now, and he's well liked, yes. But I do know a lot of other politicians, and I do meet these politicians, and some are, you know, I ask them, well, you think Manny will become president? And some will say never. And some say maybe, and Melda Marcos told me she would be president before him. She honestly did. I had lunch with her and Bob Arum. Maybe one of the best lunches ever. I mean, to get exiled from her country to Hawaii, that's a tough thing to do. I mean, I love Hawaii, so I didn't think it was that bad. But,
how are you received in the Philippines?
if I want my picture taken or if I have some dead time, I go to the mall, and the whole mall will be with me, and I will get thrown out. And but sometimes if I don't have nothing to do, I'd rather go to the mall than sit in my hotel room. And I'm probably maybe the third most famous person in the Philippines. Maybe Manny, the president, and maybe me.
How is that? How does that feel for you to have the international appeal as well too? And when you go to another country and being so well received like that,
it's very nice feeling, and Philippines is like my #1 market, yes, but like Mexico is really big, and I like people. So the thing is, if I can hang out with them and if I have time, I will spend time with them, and I'll take pictures as long as they want. But sometimes I have to be somewhere and they don't really understand that, and I got to be at a meeting or something like that, and I say I'll be back later, and they say, oh, fuck you, and stuff like that. And that happens, and people get mad at you sometimes when you don't have time to stick around. But the thing is, I do come back though. If I tell them I'm going to come back, I do. So, I mean, I like people, so it's just like, it's good for me. I mean, I enjoy it. They enjoy it. I mean, people are so nice to me. I couldn't ask for a better life.
let's say Pacquiao does run for president and is in office and says, Freddie, I'd like for you to be with me here in the Philippines. Is that something you would ever consider?
I told him the other day, I said, if you run for president, Manny, I'm going to change my address and I'm going to vote for you.
So you would move to the Philippines if he did ask?
Sure. It's a nice place. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's they have a lot of people at my house, yeah, but I mean, I don't have as much money, or I'm not as charitable as many is, but you know, the people there are very nice to me, and so I mean, if taking the picture is the hardest thing I have to do, come on, it's just a friggin' picture. But I'm glad we don't have to sign no more, you know, because I'm a bad speller.